Hello, I'm David Lillehaug, a justice on the Minnesota Supreme Court. I'm delighted to have this chance to discuss with North Suburban voters why, based on my experience and performance as a justice, I hope to be retained on the Minnesota Supreme Court. I've been on the Supreme Court about 15 months. Let me start with a little bit about the background and experience I brought to the job. I'm the son of a teacher and a homemaker from South Dakota, so you can understand why I'm an avid pheasant and grouse hunter. I went to Harvard Law School. That was a big challenge for a Midwestern kid, but I hit the books hard and I graduated with honors. Then I clerked for a federal judge and worked for Vice President Walter Mondale. With the support of my wife, we've been married 32 years by the way, I built a Minnesota law practice. Then, on the recommendation of Senator Paul Wellstone, President Bill Clinton appointed me U.S. Attorney, the Chief Prosecutor for Minnesota. I was confirmed unanimously by the U.S. Senate. As U.S. Attorney, I spent a great deal of time working successfully on issues of crime and violence in the Twin Cities, and I even became known as the Neighborhood U.S. Attorney. Responding to gang violence, I supervised the prosecutions of the leaders of the Vice Lords and the Shotgun Crips in Minneapolis, and the 6-0 Trey Crips in St. Paul, who you might remember, they firebombed and killed 5 kids. I also focused on the root causes of crime, working for jobs, education, and equity for our low-income communities. At the same time as U.S. Attorney, I followed through on my deep commitment to hold corporations accountable for wrongdoing. I negotiated the largest criminal pollution fine in Minnesota history, of which 1/4 went to restore damaged land and water. And I negotiated the largest federal fraud settlement in Minnesota history, $8 million, with a Fortune 100 corporation. At the very core of my being, I believe that everyone, including big corporations, must be equal under the law. Last year, after more than 30 years of legal experience, I decided to return to public service. After a thorough review of my credentials and my background, the statewide nonpartisan Judicial Selection Commission recommended me to Governor Dayton, who appointed me to the Supreme Court. I love my work, and I work hard. As one of your justices, I fulfill my oath to be fair and impartial. I work closely and professionally with the other 6 justices on the court. In fact, about 3/4 of our decisions are unanimous. We're not one of the 2 political branches of government. We decide cases based on legal precedent and on legal principles. Our most important decisions interpret the United States and Minnesota constitutions. I want you to know that I'm committed to your constitutional rights. Having represented parties on both sides of criminal and civil cases, I know you want our laws enforced, but you want your freedoms and liberties protected from government overreach. That's the role of our judicial branch. Being on the Supreme Court, I'm proud to work with the rest of our Minnesota judicial branch. It's among the best in the nation. I especially appreciate the work of our fine, caring district court judges who do the heavy lifting in court every day. We're focusing on causes of crime and addiction through drug courts and through new veterans and mental health courts and by improving our family and juvenile courts. And I'm really deeply committed to making the legal system more transparent and accessible to the public. On Election Day, I hope you'll vote in the Minnesota Supreme Court election. You'll see my name and the word incumbent on the ballot, but you won't see me connected to any political party. That's because judicial elections are nonpartisan and they should stay that way. You want us to decide cases based on the law, not on politics. So like my Supreme Court colleagues, I haven't sought and I will not accept the endorsement of any political party. As a justice who works only for you, I respectfully ask for your vote on November 4, and please make sure you vote in the Supreme Court election. I would truly appreciate your support, and thanks for your consideration.